Samsaradava Nalalita Loka Taranaya Karunya Kanakanatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gurnarnavasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditramadhyam Manasora Sena Romanchakam Bhashutaranga Bhadyo Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Shivikrahara Dhananitya Nana Shringara Damantira Marjanado Yutasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Chaturvidhashi Bhagavat Prasada Sadhana Tripta Hari Bhakta Sangha Kriteva Triptim Padata Sadaiva Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Shiradhika Mahatavayorapara Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Namnam Pratishana Swadanalolupasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Nikunja Yuno Ratikere Sitai Yayari Pir Yuktira Peshaniya Ratikere Yayari Pir Yuktira Tatrati Dakshat Ativallabhasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Sashathari Tvena Samasta Shastre Uttasthatha Bhaviteva Sadbhihi Tari Tvena Samasta Shastre Kintu Prabhoya Piyeva Tasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nakati kutopi Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nagati kutopi Sada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada Jayam stuvam stasya yashasti santhyam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindaam Guru Shri Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindaam Vande Guru Shri Charanaravindaam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Saraswate Deve Gauravani Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madha Radha Nila Madha Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madha Radha Nila Madha Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Lakshmana Hanuman, Jaya Sitaram, Jaya Lakshmana Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Pramam Sapajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace. Abhachan Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBTPI founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Pramam Sapajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premisi Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Girikravardhan Ki Jai Shri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagannath-puri Dham Ki Jai Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Samarita Bhaktavinda Ki Jai, Shri Madhavendra Puri Tirobhava Mahosava Ki Jai, Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadadaine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatanka nakalaye Ito narsimha parato narsimho Yato yato yami tato narsimha Ahe Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho Narasimhamadim Charanam Prapade Tava Karakamalavaре Nakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Kamalavare Nakam Buddha Shringa Hiranyakashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jagadisha Jayo Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Narasimha Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह स्वामी की जय जय प्रहलाद महाराज की जय
वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशव सच विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशव सच विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशव सच विष्णु भक्ति पदे देवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय
नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाभो ये अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाभो ये अभिलाषी जे तोमार शरण लय तारा वांछा पूर्ण होय कृपा करी करो तारे वृंदावनवासी मोरा ये अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो बास नयने हेरी भो सधा जुगल रूप राशि এই নিবেদন দারো সাকিরনুগত করো सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीन कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा होय श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी श्री राधा गोविंद प्रेमे सदा ये न भासी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः यानि कानि पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिण पदे पदे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी जय वृंदा देवी Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्तवत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्तवत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्तवत्ताय नमो नमः. वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की.
Oh Tulasi, beloved Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire is in the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Wherever take short of you has wished fulfilled. If I met a party may make him a resident of Vrindavan. My desire also grant me residence in the precious of Shri Vrindavan. Thus within my wish I shall behold the beautiful pastime Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follow Karha Danso Vraja. Please give me the privilege of devotional service and make my own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna praise. May I always swim in the love, Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulasi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy name that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, to be equal to independent in the name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant the Vedic version. 5. To consider glorious of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of chanting the holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspiciously chosen activities, offering the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma, kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments in understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I choose who can fulfill it to everyone, and their full compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. So today is the disappearance day of Sri Madhavendra Puri. He is a spiritual master of Ishwar Puri, who is in turn the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto darpana marjanam bhavamaha davakni nirvapanam. Shriya kairava chantrika vitaranam vidyavatu jivanam. Anandam Pudivardhanam Patipadam Purnamita Sadhanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tavarkripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Disham Ihajanina Nurakaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina manadena kirtaniya sada harihi na thanam na janam na sundarim kavitamba jagadisha kamaye mama jamani jamanishvare bhavata bhaktir haituki tavayi ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam puto kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita duri satvesham vichintaya Nayanam karadashru dharaya vatanam katkata rudaya gira Pulakai nichitam mapurkada tava nama grahane bhavishati Yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam Shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me Ashri shava padaratam pinnashtumam Adarshanam marmahatam karotuva Yatha tatha va vitatatu lampato mad prana nathastu sa eva na paraha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which connects the heart of all that does commit for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity at large, because it expresses the rays of the benediction moon. It's the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and enables to fully taste the nectar for which you are always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have vested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness enables to easily approach you by your holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, think oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. Only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Marjananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow I fall in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the Adam's lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up and the hairs of my body stand at the recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I'm considering the moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shastakam ki jai. Shri Mangala prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pajadesha Darine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhavin Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadaya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Darine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha นะโมมาปฏิโนตายะสัจจิตานันตนาเมเนกรชักติสวรูปายะรูปานุกวรายเตโกราวิรภาวะภูมิสตวมเนติสตาสจนะปริยะวายชนาวาสารปามาชิจักนัทายเตนะมะวัญชาเกาปตุรูปิสจะคริปาสินดุเพเอวจะปฏิตานัมปาเนเพียววายชนเวเพียวนะโมนะมะนะโมมหาวตัญญายะคริชนาเพรมปตายเตคริชนายะคริชนเชตัญญานามเนกรติเชนนะมะปัญจตัตวาธรรมคัมคริชนาภักตรูปสวรูปคัมภักตาวตารัมภักตาคัมนามามิภักตชักติคัมเฮคริชนาคารุณาสินโดดีนบันโดจักปเตโกเปชโกปิกาคันตราธาคันตนะโมสตุเตจายตามสรทโรพังโกมะมะมันตมะเตกติมัสสารสะพดัมโพโจราธามาตนะโมหโนติเวทวินดาดเนขอปัจจุมาตชิมตรานาการสิงหาสนัสโทชิมตราธาชิลโกวินตเดโวเพสตาริปิเสวมาโนสมรามิชิมันราสารสารัมปิวัมชิวัตตถสถิตะคารชังเวนุสเนโกปิรโกปินาทชิเอสตุนะตัปตะกัญจนโกรังกิราเทวรินดาวเนชวรีวิชบานุสุเตเตวิพนามามิหริปริเยจายश्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत दातार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री मंगलाचरण प्रेयर्स की जय श्री परम संहिता की जय ईश्वर परम कृष्ण सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनाद्यराध्य गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम चिंतामणि परकर सत्मसुकपवेक्ष रक्षावितेषु सुरभिरभिपालयन्तं लक्ष्मी सहस्रशतसं परमसेव्यमानं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि वेणुं खवनन्तमरविन्ददलायताक्षं पार्हावतं समसितां पुतसुन्दरङ्गं कन्तर्पकोटिकमनीयविशेषशोभं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आलोलचन्तकलसवनमालवंशि रानङ्कदम्फनयकेलिकलाविलासं श्यामं क्षिपङ्गललितं यत्प्रकाशं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अङ्गानि यस्य सकलेन्द्रियवृत्तिमान्ति पश्यन्ति पान्ति कलयन्ति चिरं जगान्ति आनन्दचिन्मयसतुचिलविग्रहस्य गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि अद्वैतम् अचोत्तमनादिमनन्तरूपम् आद्यं पुराणपुरुषं नवयौवनं च वेदेषु दुर्लभमदुर्लभम् आत्मभक्तो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि पन्थास्तु कोटिशतवत्सरसम्प्रगाम्यो वायुरथापि मनसो मुनिपङ्गवानं सोऽभ्यस्ति यप्रपदसिम्य विचिन्त्य तत्त्वे गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि एकोऽप्यसौरचयितुं जगतन्तकोटिं या शक्तिरस्ति जगतन्तचयायतन्तः अन्तन्तरस्थ परमाणुचयन्तरस्थं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि यद्भावभावितधियो मनुजास्तथैव सम्प्राप्य रूपमहिमासनयानभूषः सूक्तयम् एव निगमपतितैस्तुवन्ति गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि आनन्दचिन्मयरसप्रतिभाविताभिस्ताभ्य एव च रूपतया कलाभिः गोलोक एव निवसत्यखिलात्मभूतो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि प्रेमाञ्जनश्रुतभक्तिविलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरमचिन्त्य गुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि रामादिमूर्तिषु कलानियमेन तिष्ठन् नानावतारमकरोत् भुवनेषु किन्तु कृष्ण स्वयं समभवत् परमपुमां यो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि Krishna, who is not Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, has an eternal blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin. He is the prime cause of all causes. I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purple trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
Who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always reveals in pastime of love, whose graceful three-folded bending form of Syamasundara is eternally manifest. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas but obtainable by pure unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is the person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves by pranayama, by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years. He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that is scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thorns, conveyances, and ornaments. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed by the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidence Sakis, embodiment of the extension of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Syamasundara, Krishna himself, with inconceivable, innumerable attribute, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of the hearts with the eyes of devotion, tinged with the salve of love. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective persons.
Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrunvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschayi cheteter anhavidam sitam satve prasidati एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवत भक्ति योगतः भगवत तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथेश्चद्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the absolute, supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead, Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, Text 42-43. कदम्ब चंपको शोका कारंज बकुलासनै कुंड मंदार कुताजैस च्यूतपोतैर अलंकृतं कारंदवै प्लवैर्हंसै कुरारैर्जलकुक्कुतै सारासैश्चक्रवाकैश्च चकोरैर् Valgukujitam. Kadamba, Kadamba flowers. Champaka, Champaka flowers. Ashoka, Ashoka flowers. Karanja, Karanja flowers. Bakula, Bakula flowers. Asanai, by Asana trees. Kunda, Kunda. Mandara, Mandara. Kutajai, and by Kutaja trees. Chutapotai, by young mango trees. Alankritam, adorned. Karandavai, by Karandava ducks. Plavai, by plavas. Hamsai, by swans. Kurarai, by ospreys. Jalakukkutai, by waterfowl. Sarasai, by cranes. Chakravakai, by Chakravaka birds. Cha and Chakorai, by Chakora birds. Valgu, pleasing. Kujitam, vibration of birds' sounds. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lake Bindu Sarovara was adorned by flowering trees such as Kadamba, Champaka, Ashoka, Karanja, Bakula, Asana, Kunda, Mandara, Kutaja, and young mango trees. The air was filled with the pleasing notes of Karandava, ducks, plavas, swans, ospreys, waterfowl, cranes, Chakravakas, and Chakoras. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For most of the trees, flowers, fruits, and birds mentioned here as surrounding Bindu Sarovara Loka, English synonyms cannot be found. All the trees mentioned are very pious in that they produce a nice aromatic flower, such as the Champaka, Kadamba, and Bakula. The sweet sounds of waterfowl and cranes made the surrounding area as pleasant as possible and created a very suitable spiritual atmosphere. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, Text 44. Tataiva harinai krodhai swavid gavaya kunjari gopuchair haribir arkair nakulair nabhibhir vritam. Tata eva, likewise, harinai by deer, krodhai by boars, swavid porcupines, gavaya a wild animal closely resembling the cow, kunjarai by elephants, gopuchai by baboons, haribi by lions, markai by monkeys, nakulai by mongooses, nabibhi by musk deer, vritam surrounded. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Its shores abounded with deers, boars, porcupines, gavayas, elephants, baboons, lions, monkeys, mongooses, and musk deer. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Musk deer are not found in every forest, but only in places like Bindu Sarovara. They are always intoxicated by the aroma of musk secreted from their navels. Gavayas, the species of cow mentioned herein, wear a bunch of hair at the end of their tails. This bunch of hair is used in temple worship to fan the deities. Gavayas are sometimes called chamaris, and they are considered very sacred. In India, there are still gypsies or forest mercantile people who flourish by trading kasturi or musk and the bunches of hair from the chamaris. These are always in great demand for the higher classes of Hindu population, and such Businesses still goes on in large cities and villages in India. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 21, text 45 to 47. Pravishyata Tirthavaram Adiraja Sahatmajaha Tadarsha Munim Asinam Tasmin Hutasanam Vidyotamanam Vapusha Tapasi Ugra Yuga Chiram Natiksamam Bhagavataha Snigdha Pangavalokanat Tadvyahritamrita Kala Piyushasravanena cha param pramshum palasakaksham jatilam chiravasasam upasam malinam yatharhanam asamskrutam. Pravisha, entering that Tirthavaram, best of sacred places, Adiraja, the first monarch, Swayambhuva Manu, Saha Atmaja, along with his daughter, Dadarsha saw Munim, the sage, Asinam, sitting, Tasmin, in the hermitage, Huta, being offered oblations, Huta Ashanam, the sacred fire, Vidyotamanam, shining brilliantly, Vapusa, by his body, Tapasi, in penance, Ugra, terribly, Yuja, engaged in yoga, Chiram, for a long time, Na, not, Atikshanam, very emaciated, Bhagavataha of the Lord, Snigdha, affectionate, Apanga, sidelong, Avalokanath, from the glance, Sat, of him, Vyahrata, from the words, Amrutakala, moon-like, Piyusha, the nectar, Sravanena, by hearing, Cha, and Pramshum, tall, Padma, lotus flower, Palasha, petal, Aksham, eyes, Jatilam, matted locks, Chiravasasam, having rags for clothes, Upasamsritya, having approached, Malinam, soil, Yatha, like, Harhanam, jam, Asamskritam, unpolished, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Entering that most sacred spot with his daughter and going near the sage, the first monarch, Swayambhuva Manu, saw the sage sitting in his hermitage, having just propitiated the sacred fire by pouring oblations into it. His body shone most brilliantly, though he had engaged in austere penance for a long time. He was not emaciated, for the Lord had cast his affectionate sidelong glance upon him, and he had also heard the nectar flowing from the moon-like words of the Lord. The sage was tall, his eyes were large, like the petals of a lotus, and he had matted locks on his head. He was clad in rags. Swayambhuva Manu approached and saw him to be somewhat soiled, like an unpolished gem. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here are some descriptions of a brahmachari yogi. In the morning, the first duty of a brahmachari seeking spiritual elevation is hutasana, to offer sacrificial oblation to the Supreme Lord. Those engaged in brahmacharya cannot sleep until 7 or 9 o'clock in the morning. They must rise early in the morning, at least 1.5 hours before the sun rises, and offer oblations, or in this age, they must chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna. As referred to by Lord Chaitanya, Kalau nasti eva gatir anyatha. There is no other alternative in this age to chanting the holy name of the Lord. The brahmachari must rise early in the morning, and after placing himself should chant the holy name of the Lord. From the very features of the sage, it appeared that he had undergone great austerities. That is a sign of one observing brahmacharya, the vow of celibacy. He one lives, otherwise it will be manifest in the lust visible in his face and body. The word Vidyotamanam indicates that the brahmachari feature showed in his body. That is a certificate that one has undergone great austerity in yoga. A drunkard or smoker or sex monger can never be eligible to practice yoga. Generally, yogis look very skinny because of their not being comfortably situated. But Kardama Muni was not emaciated, or for he had seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Here the word Snigdha Pangava Lokanath means that he was fortunate enough to see the Supreme Lord face to face. He looked healthy because he had directly received the nectarian sound vibrations from the lotus lips of the Personality of Godhead. Similarly, one who hears the transcendental sound vibration of the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, also improves in health. We have actually seen that many brahmacharis and grihasthas connected with the International Society of Krishna Consciousness have improved in health, and a luster has come to their faces. It is essential that a brahmachari engage in spiritual advancement look very healthy and lustrous. The comparison of the sage to an unpolished gem is very appropriate. Even if a gem just taken from a mine looks unpolished, the luster of the gem cannot be stopped. Similarly, although Kardamam was not properly dressed and his body was not properly cleansed, his overall appearance was gem-like.
Text 48, Canto 3, Chapter 21. Ato tajam upayatam nrudevam pranatam puraha saparyaya paryagranat pratinandyanurupaya. Ata then Utajam the hermitage, Upayatam approached, Nrudevam the monarch, Pranatam bowed down, Puraha in front, Saparyaya with honor, Paryagrahnad received him, Pratinandya greeting him, Anurupaya befitting the king's position. Translation: seeing that the monarch had come to his hermitage and was bowing before him, the sage greeted him with benediction and received him with due honor. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Emperor Swayambhuva Manu not only approached the cottage of dried leaves possessed by the hermit Kardama, but also offered respectful obeisance unto him. Similarly, it was the duty of the hermitage to offer blessings to kings who used to approach his hermitage in the jungle. Text 49. Grihitarhanam asinam samyatam prinayan muni smaran bhagavad adesham iti aha slakshanaya giram. Grihita received, arhanam honor, asinam seated, samyatam remain silent, prinayan delighting, muni the sage, smaran remembering, bhagavat of the Lord, adesham the order, iti thus, aha spoke, Shlakshnaya, sweet, Gira, with a voice. Translation: after receiving the sage's attention, the king sat down and was silent. Recalling the instructions of the Lord, Kardama then spoke to the king as follows, delighting him with his sweet accents. Text 50. Nunam Chenkramanam Deva Satam Samrakshanayati Vadaya Chasatam Yastvam Hare Shaktir Nipalini. Nunam surely Chenkramanam the true Deva, O Lord, Satam of the virtuous, Samrakshanaya for the protection, The your, Vadaya for killing, Cha and Asatam of the demons, Yah the person who, Tvam you, Hare of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shakti the energy, He since Palini protecting. Translation: the tour you have undertaken, O Lord, is surely intended to protect the virtuous and kill the demon, since you embody the protecting energy of Sri Hari. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It appears from many Vedic literature, especially histories like Srimad Bhagavatam and the Puranas, that the pious kings of old used to tour their kingdoms in order to give protection to the pious citizens and to chastise or kill the impious. Sometimes they used to kill animals in the forest to practice the killing art, because without such practice they would not be able to kill the undesirable elements. Kshatriyas are allowed to commit violence in that way because violence for a good purpose is a part of their duty. Here two terms are clearly mentioned: Vadaya for the purpose of killing, and Asatam, those who are undesirable. The protecting energy of the king is supposed to be the energy of the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 4.8, the Lord says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskritam. The Lord descends to give protection to the pious and to kill the demons. The potency, therefore, to give protection to the pious and kill the demons or undesirable is directly an energy from the Supreme Lord. The king or the chief executive of the state is supposed to possess such energy. In this age, it is very difficult to find such a head of state who is expert in killing the undesirables. Modern heads of state sit very nicely in their palaces and try without reason to kill innocent persons. Yoken, text 51. Yorkenvu Agnindra Vayunam Yamadharma Prachetasam Rupanistana Adatse Tasmai Shuklayate Namaham. Yeah, you who, Arka of the sun, Indu of the moon, Agni of Agni, the fire god, Indra of Indra, the lord of heaven, Vayunam of Vayu, the wind god, Yama of Yama, the god of punishment, Dharma of Dharma, the god of piety, Prachetasam, and of Varuna, the god of the waters, Rupani, the forms, Sthane, when necessary, Adache, you assume, Tasmai, unto him, Shuklaya, unto Lord Vishnu, Te, unto you, Namah, obeisances. Translation: you assume, when necessary, the part of the sun god, the moon god, Agni, the god of fire, Indra, the lord of paradise, Vayu, the wind god, Yama, the god of punishment, Dharma, the god of piety, and Varuna, the god of presiding over the waters, all obeys unto you, who are none other than Lord Vishnu. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Since the sage Kardama was a Brahmana and Swayambhuva was a Kshatriya, the sage was not supposed to offer obeisance to the king, because socially his position was greater than the king's. But he offered his obeisances to Swayambhuvan because, as Manu, king and emperor, he was a representative of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is always worshipable, regardless of whether one is a Brahmana, a Kshatriya, or a Sudra. As a representative of the Supreme Lord, the king deserved respectful obeisance from everyone. Text 52 to 54. Nayada radam astaya jaitram mani ganarpitam Vishpurja chanda kodando ratena trashayan agan Saisainya charanakshunnam Vepayan mandalam bhuvaha Vikarshan brahitam senam Paryatasi amusmaniva Amsumaniva Paryatasi amsumaniva Tadaiva cetava sarve Varnashrama nibandanaha Bhagavat rachita rajan Vidyeran Badadashyubhihi. Not Yada, when Radham, the chariot, Asthaya, having mounted, Jaitram, victorious, Mani, of jewels, Gana, with clusters, Arpitam, bedecked, Vishpurjat, twangling, Chanda, a fearful sound, just to punish the criminals, Kodanda, bow, Radhaina, by the presence of such a chariot, Thrasayan, threatening, Agan, all the culprits, Swasainya, of your soldier, Charana, by the feet, Shunnam, trampled, Vepayan, causing to tremble, Mandalam, the globe, Bhuvaha, of the earth, Vikarshan, leading, Bruhatim, huge, Senam, army, Paryatasi, you roam about. Amsuman, the brilliant sun, Iva like, Tada then, Eva certainly, Setavaha, religious codes, Sarve all, Varna of Varnas, Ashrama of Ashramas, Nibandanaha, obligations, Bhagavat by the Lord, Rachitaha created, Rajan O king, Vidyeran they would be broken, Bata alas, Dashubi by rogues. Translation: if you did not mount your victorious jewel chariot, whose mere presence threatens culprits, if you did not produce fierce sounds by the twangling of your bow, and if you did not roam about the world like the brilliant sun, leading a huge army whose trampling feet caused the globe of the earth to tremble, then all the moral laws governing the Varnas and ashramas created by the Lord Himself would be broken by the rogues and rascals. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It is the duty of a responsible king to protect the social and spiritual orders in human society. The spiritual orders are divided into 4 ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. And the social orders, according to work and qualification, are made up of the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and Sudras. These social orders, according to the different grades of work and qualification, are described in the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, for want of proper protection by responsible kings, the system of social and spiritual orders has now become a hereditary caste system. But this is not the actual system. Human society means that society which is making progress towards spiritual realization. The most advanced human society was known as Arya. Arya refers to those who are advancing. So the question is, which society is advancing? Advancement doesn't mean creating material necessities unnecessarily and thus wasting human energy in aggravation over so-called material comforts. Real advancement is advancement toward spiritual realization, and the community which acted toward this end was known as the Aryan civilization. The intelligent men, the Brahmanas, as exemplified by Kardama Muni, were engaged in advancing the spiritual cause, and Kshatriyas like Emperor Swayambhuva used to rule the country and ensure that all facilities for spiritual realization were nicely provided. It is the duty of the king to travel all over the country and see that everything is in order. Indian civilization, on the basis of the 4 varnas and ashramas, deteriorated because of her dependency on the foreigners, or those who did not follow the civilization of varnashrama. Thus, the varnashrama system has now been degraded into the caste system. The institution of 4 varnas and 4 ashramas is confirmed here with to be Bhagavat Rachita, which means designed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is also confirmed. Chaturvanyam Maya Srishtam. The Lord says that the institution of 4 varnas and 4 ashramas is created by me. Anything created by the Lord cannot be closed or covered. The divisions of varnas and ashramas will continue to exist, either in their original form or in degraded form. But because they are created by the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they cannot be extinguished. They are like the sun, a creation of God, and therefore will remain, either covered by the clouds or in a clear sky. The sun will continue to exist. Similarly, when the varnashrama system becomes degraded, it appears as a hereditary caste system. But in every society, there is an intelligent class of men, a martial class, a mercantile class, and a laborer class. When they are regulated for cooperation among communities according to the Vedic principles, then there is peace and spiritual advancement. But when there is hatred and malpractice and mutual mistrust in the caste system, the whole system becomes degraded. And as stated herein, it creates deplorable state. At the present moment, the entire world is in this deplorable condition because of giving rights to so many interests. This is due to the degradation of the four castes of Varnas and Ashramas. Text 55. Adharmascha samedeta lulupair vankushair nribihi shreyane tvai lokoyam dashu grasto vinangshati. Adharma, unrighteousness, and samadeta, would flourish. Lolupai, simply hankering after money. Vankushai, uncontrolled. Nribihi, by men. Shayane Thvai, when you lie down for rest. Lokaha, world, I am this. Dashu, by the miscreants. Grastaha, attacked. Vinangshati, it will perish. Translation: if you gave up all thought of the world situation, unrighteousness would flourish. For men who hanker only after money would be unopposed. Such miscreants would attack, and the world would perish. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Because the scientific division of four Varnas and four ashramas is now being extinguished, the entire world is being governed by unwanted men who have no training in religion, politics, or social order, and it is in a very deplorable condition. In the institution of four Varnas and four ashramas, there are regular training principles for the different classes of men. Just as in the modern age, there is a necessity for engineers, medical practitioners, and electricians, and they are properly trained in different scientific institutions. Similarly, in former times, the higher social orders, namely the intelligent class, the Brahmanas, the ruling class, the Kshatriyas, and the mercantile class, the Vaishyas, were properly trained. Bhagavad Gita describes the duties of the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. When there is no such training, one simply claims that because he is born in a Brahmana or Kshatriya family, he is therefore a Brahmana or a Kshatriya, even though he performs the duties of a Sudra. Such undue claims to being a higher caste man make the system of scientific social orders into a caste system, completely degrading the original system. Thus, society is now in chaos, and there is neither peace nor prosperity. It is clearly stated herein that unless there is a vigilance of a strong king, impious, unqualified men will claim a certain status in society, and that will make the social order perish. Text 56. Atapi pruchetvam vira yadardam tvam ihagata tadvayam nirvyalikena pratipadyamahe hruda. Translation. In spite of all this, I ask you, O valiant king, the purpose for which you have come here, whatever it may be, we shall carry it out without reservation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When a guest comes to a friend's house, it is understood that there is some special purpose. Kardama Muni could understand that such a great king as Swayambhuva, although traveling to inspect the condition of his kingdom, when a guest comes to a friend's house, it is understood that there is some special purpose. Kardama Muni could understand that such a great king as Swayambhuva, although traveling to inspect the condition of his kingdom, must have had some special purpose to come to his hermitage. Thus he prepared himself to fulfill the king's desire. Formerly it was customary that the sages used to go to the kings, and the kings used to visit the sages in their hermitages. Each was glad to fulfill the other's purpose. This reciprocal relationship is called Bhakti Karya. There is a nice verse describing the relationship of mutual beneficial interest between the Brahmana and the Kshatriya. Kshatram Dvijatvam. Kshatra means the royal order, and Dvijatvam means the Brahmanical order. The two were meant for mutual interest. The royal order would give protection to the Brahmanas for the cultivation of spiritual advancement in society, and the Brahmanas would give their valuable instruction to the royal order on how the state and the citizens can gradually be elevated in spiritual perfection. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 21st chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Conversations between Manu and Kardama. Chapter 22, The Marriage of Kardama Muni and Devahuti. Text 1. Maitreya Uvacha Yevam Avikshruta Shesha Guna Karmodayo Munim Savrida Ivatam Samrad Uparatam Uvachaha. Maitreya, the great sage Maitreya, Uvacha said, Evam thus, Avishkruta, having been described, Ashesha, all, Guna, of the virtues, Karma, of the activities, Udayaha, the greatness, Munim, the great sage, Sa Vrida, feeling modest, Iva, as though, Tam, him, Kardama, Samrat, Emperor Manu, Uparadam, silent, Uvachaha, addressed. Translation. Sri Maitreya said, after describing the greatness of the emperor's manifold qualities and activities, the sage became silent, and the emperor, feeling modesty, addressed him as follows. Manuruvacha Brahma Shrujasva Mukato Yusman Atma Paripshaya. Chandomaya Sapo Vidya Yoga Yuktan Alam Patan. Manu Uvacha said, Brahma, Lord Brahma, Ashtrajat created, Shva Mukataha, from his face, Yusman, you Brahmanas, Atma Paripsaya, to protect himself by expanding, Chandamaya, the form of the Vedas, Tapah Vidya Yoga Yuktan, full of austerity, knowledge, and mystic power, Alampatan, averse to sense gratification. Translation. Manu replied, to expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Ved, to expand himself in Vedic knowledge, Lord Brahma, the personified Veda, from his face created you, the Brahmanas, who are full of austerity, knowledge, and mystic power, and are averse to sense gratification. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The purpose of the Vedas is to propagate the transcendental knowledge of the absolute truth. The Brahmanas were created from the mouth of the Supreme Person, and therefore they are meant to spread the knowledge of the Vedas in order to spread the glories of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says that all the Vedas are meant for understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is especially mentioned here, Yoga Yuktan Alampatan, that Brahmanas are full of mystic power and are completely averse to sense gratification. Actually, there are two kinds of occupation. One occupation in the material world is sense gratification. The other occupation is spiritual activity to satisfy the Lord by His glorification. Those who engage in sense gratification are called demons, and those who spread the glorification of the Lord or satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord are called demigods. It is specifically mentioned here that Brahmanas are created from the face of the cosmic personality or Virat Purusha. Similarly, the Kshatriyas are said to be created from his arms, the Vaishyas are created from his waist, and the Sudras are created from his legs. Brahmanas are especially meant for austerity, learning, and knowledge, and are averse to all kinds of sense gratification. Text 3. Canto 3, Chapter 22. Tatranayasrajachasman do sahasrata sahasrapad hridayam tasya hi brahma kshatram angam prachakshate. Tatranaya, for the protection of the Brahmanas, Asrajat created, Cha and Asman as Kshatriyas, though Sahasrat from his 1,000 arms, Sahasrapat, the 1,000-legged supreme being, the universal form, Hridayam, heart, Tasya, his, he, for, Brahmana, Kshatram, the Kshatriyas, Angam, arms, Prachakshate are spoken of. Translation. For the protection of the Brahmanas, the 1,000-legged supreme being created us, the Kshatriyas, from his 1,000 arms. Hence the Brahmanas are said to be his heart, and the Kshatriyas his arms. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Kshatriyas are specifically meant to maintain the Brahmanas, because if the Brahmanas are protected, then the head of civilization is protected. Brahmanas are supposed to be the head of the social body. If the head is clear and has not gone mad, then everything is in proper position. The Lord is described thus: Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha. The purport of this prayer is that the Lord specifically protects the Brahmanas and the cows, and then He protects all other members of society, Jagaditaya. It is His will that universal welfare work depends on the protection of cows and Brahmanas. Thus, Brahmanical culture and cow protection are the basic principles for human civilization. Kshatriyas are especially meant to protect the Brahmanas, as is the supreme will of the Lord. Go Brahmana Hitayacha. As within the body, the heart is a very important part. So the Brahmanas are also the important element in human society. The Kshatriyas are more like the whole body. Even though the whole body is bigger than the heart is more important. Text 4, Canto 3, Chapter 22. Ato hi anyonyam atmanam brahma kshetram cha rakshata rakshati smavyayo deva saya sadasad atmakaha. Ata, hence, he certainly, anyonyam, each other, atmanam, the self, brahma, the Brahmanas, kshetram, the Kshatriyas, cha, and rakshataha, protect, rakshati sma, protects, avyayaha, immutable, devaha, the Lord, sa, he, yahu, satasat, atmakaha, the form of the cause and effect. Translation. That is why the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas protect each other, as well as themselves, and the Lord Himself, who is both the cause and effect, and is yet immutable, protects them through each other. The entire social structure of Varna and Ashrama is a cooperative system meant to uplift all the highest platform of spiritual realization. The Brahmanas are intended to be protected by the Kshatriyas, And the Kshatriyas also are intended to be enlightened by the Brahmanas. When the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas cooperate nicely, the other subordinate divisions, the Vaishyas or mercantile people and the Sudras or laborer class, automatically flourish. The entire elaborate system of Vedic society was therefore based on the importance of the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. The Lord is the real protector, but he is unattached to the affairs of protection. He creates Brahmanas for the protection of the Kshatriyas, and the Kshatriyas for the protection of the Brahmanas. He remains aloof from all activities, therefore, he is called Nirvikara, without activity. He has nothing to do. He is so great that he does not perform action personally, but his energies act. The Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and anything that we see are different energies acting upon one another. Although individual souls are all different, the super self, the super soul, is the supreme personality of Godhead. Individually, one's self may differ from others in certain qualities and may engage in different activities, such as those of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. But when there is complete cooperation among different individual souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul Paramatma, being one in every individual soul, is pleased and gives them all protection. As stated before, the Brahmanas are produced from the mouth of the Lord, and the Kshatriyas are produced from the chest or arms of the Lord. If the different castes or social sections, although apparently differently occupied in different activities, nevertheless act in full cooperation, then the Lord is pleased. This is the idea of the institution of 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. If the members of the different Ashramas and Varnas cooperate fully in Krishna consciousness, then society is well protected by the Lord without doubt. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that the Lord is the proprietor of all different bodies. The individual soul is the proprietor of his individual body. But the Lord clearly states, "My dear Bharata, you must know that I am also Kshetrajna." Kshetrajna means the knower or proprietor of the body. The individual soul is the proprietor of the individual body, but the super soul, the personality of Godhead Krishna, is the proprietor of all bodies everywhere. He is the proprietor not only of human bodies but of birds, beasts, and all other entities, not only on this planet but on other planets also. He is the supreme proprietor, therefore, he does not become divided by protecting the different individual souls. He remains one and same. That the sun appears on top of everyone's head when at the meridian does not imply that the sun becomes divided. One man thinks that the sun is on his head only, whereas 5,000 miles away, another man is thinking that the sun is only on his head. Similarly, the super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, is one, but he appears to individually oversee each individual soul. This does not mean that the individual soul and the super soul are one. They are one in quality as spirit soul, but the individual soul and super soul are different. Text 5. Tava sandarshana deva chinna me sarva samsaya yat swayam bhagavan pritya dharmam ahari rakshishohu. Tava, your sandarshanat, by sight, eva only, chinna, resolved, may my sarva samsaya, all doubts, yat, in as much as, swayam, personally, Bhagavan, your lordship, pritya, lovingly, dharmam, duty, aha, explained, ririkshisho, of a king anxious to protect his subjects. Now I have resolved all my doubts simply by meeting you. For your lordship has very kindly and clearly explained the duty of a king who desires to protect his subjects. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Manu described here with the result of seeing a great saintly person. The Lord Chaitanya says that one should always try to associate with saintly persons, because if one establishes a proper association with a saintly person, even for a moment, one attains all perfection. Somehow or other, if one meets a saintly person, achieves his favor, then the entire mission of one's human life is fulfilled. In our personal experience, we have actual proof of this statement of Manu. Once we had the opportunity to meet Vishnu, Pada Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and on his first sight, he requested this humble self to preach his message in the Western countries. There was no preparation for this, but somehow or other he desired it. By his grace, we are now engaged in executing his order, which has given us a transcendental occupation and has saved and liberated us from the occupation of material activities. And thus, it is actually a fact that if one meets a saintly person, completely engaged in transcendental duties, and achieves his favor, then one's life mission becomes complete. What is not possible to achieve in thousands of lives can be achieved in one moment if there is an opportunity to meet a saintly person. It is therefore enjoined in Vedic literature that one should always try to associate with saintly person and try to dissociate oneself from the common man, because by one word of saintly person, one can be liberated from material entanglement. A saintly person has the power, because his spiritual advancement, to give immediate liberation to the conditioned soul. Here, Manu admits that all his doubts are now over, because Kardama has very kindly described the different duties of individual souls. Hare Krishna. Today we read up to Canto 3, Chapter 22, Text 5. We'll continue reading tomorrow. Grindaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Continue to Guru Puja. Hare Krishna.